Hello, Coach.
Hey.
We'll go ahead and get started. First question, Mark Berman. Mark. All right, we'll go to the next person, Kelly Eco.
Hey, Coach, is there an update on Christian Wood's availability for tonight?
Yeah, Christian's available and we'll start.
Jonathan Fagan. Jonathan.
Stephen, other than your dad, I guess you spent more time with Cliff. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think more time with Cliff than any other head coach. Anything that you would point to that you do that comes from that experience, or things that stand out for you over the years?
Yeah, I mean, the preparation part is huge with Cliff, and I learned a lot of it from him. The details, he's an amazing coach. There's so many layers to him as far as connecting with players, making sure that they're prepared, making sure they know what's coming ahead. Just so very much. But I would say the thing that stands out for him is his teams are always prepared, and I want to make sure that my teams are prepared as well.
Was I right in thinking you were with him longer than anybody other than your dad?
Yeah, I was with Don Nelson for 4 years, and then I think I was with Cliff for 5. So yeah.
Thanks.
Ben DeVoe.
Coach, I know Danuel is out tonight, but has there been any improvement? What's his status today relative to a few days ago?
Well, a few days ago, he could barely even walk. So seeing him up and about and walking around even gingerly and slowly today indicates that there's improvement. So he will continue to improve. He won't play tonight, and we'll see going forward what it looks like. Hopefully he'll loosen up and he'll be able to move around a little bit, and we'll be able to play him.
Adam Spollen.
Stephen, along those lines, are there any restrictions on Wood, and is McLemore available tonight? Or McLemore, sorry.
Yeah, McLemore is available. And as far as Christian, I'm just going to have to read it. He hasn't played, obviously, in a few, what's it been, like 4 days. So I'm just going to have to read it. The training staff has not given me any restrictions, but that's one of those things you have to make sure you're communicating with the player, make sure you're attentive to how he looks running up and down the floor and that sort of thing. So there are no set in stone restrictions, but I'll just have to make that evaluation on my communication with him and how I see it.
Ali Kambajani.
Hey, Stephen. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I noticed Eric a lot more in the corner in the last game and in other games as well, with James and John on the wings. I know you in the past have talked to us about having the offense become more interchangeable, but what does that look to do for you in 5-out? What are the advantages of having Eric there? And in the past, we've seen Eric a lot more in the slot, but him in the corner and different looks like that. What does that do for you?
Well, it stretches the defense, obviously. But most of your help on your drives comes from the corner man. So they have a decision to make. As you saw, John was penetrating downhill, and they had a decision to make whether they're going to help off Eric and sink on the weak side, or if they're just going to try to stay home and let John kind of do his thing. So it also allows a little bit more action to come Eric's way. If he's up in the slot, it's more kind of ball handling actions, where if he's in the corner, it's more screening actions that come towards him. So like I said, we are trying to be as interchangeable as possible, and that comes with playing together in time and having the same group on the floor for more than one game at a time. So it's still a work in progress, but those are the reads when it comes to Eric in the corner as opposed to Eric in the slot.
Thank you for that explanation.
Yep.
Brian Bearfield.
Coach, if Christian isn't available tonight, will we see more of DeMarcus Cousins late in the game? And also, I know we're only 6 games in, but, in the future, and I know you can't tell the future, but will we see more of Boogie and Christian Wood late in games as well, using them for their big bodies?
That's a good question. Like you said, it's hard to look in the crystal ball and see whether that's going to happen. But yeah, if Christian's not able to play, we'll definitely see more Cuz tonight. And that's something that we're going to take a look at. You know, there's situational things that we're going to have to deal with going down the stretch, whether a team has two bigger guys and maybe we could play them together some. And then, you know, with the development of Tate and PJ's ability to get us organized and do all the things that PJ does well, it's a little bit touchy just trying to play so many guys in those two spots. You know, sometimes it's easier with the perimeter players because you can mix and match and really deal with 3 spots as opposed to just 2 with 4 guys or for 5 guys really to figure it out. So that's something I definitely want to get to, and I think you might have asked me that before, and it's a good idea, and I'm trying to get to it some, but you know, we'll see.
Josh Robbins.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, good evening, Stephen.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah, hi. I'm working on a piece about the floater. How tough is it for some players to pick up? Because it seems like it would be a relatively easy shot to its distance, but a lot of guys do have trouble with it.
Yeah, it's one of those shots where I wouldn't say you either have it or you don't, but some guys just have a knack for it, right? Like when I had Steph in Golden State, it was just like an easy shot for him. It wasn't like I taught him how to shoot a floater. He just kind of had it, and we worked on it quite a bit to where he could do it from different angles and you know, different situations, whether he's coming downhill or along the baseline or that sort of thing. And then with Kemba, working on him, and Steve Hetzel did a great job working with Kemba when we were in Charlotte. He kind of developed it over time. So it's such a tough shot because you have to have so much touch and the way that teams are playing now. And I guess this is like part of the reason why you're writing this article on it is teams are dropping. They're not allowing you to shoot threes. They're trying to push you into that big downhill, and the shot that you have is the floater if you're trying to attack the paint. Now, there's the pull-up, but analytically, the pull-up isn't the shot that you want to shoot. So do you shoot the floater? Do you not? Do you draw defense by getting downhill and getting into the paint and now making a play, or shoot the floater? So as far as individually, it's just like I hate to answer it this way, but it's almost like a case-by-case basis. You work on it with some guys and it doesn't necessarily connect, but other guys have kind of had it all along, and you kind of just grow it.
Thank you.
We'll take 2 more. Dante Marcatelli.
Coach, you had Dwayne Bacon's coming off a season high. You had him in Charlotte when he was a rookie, you and Cliff. He's reunited with Cliff here. What do you like about the player, the individual? Why is this a good fit for him?
DB has physical skills. He's a strong player. He's a scorer. You know, he scored big in the G League, and when he has the opportunity, he can score well in the NBA as well. You know, he has that mid-range pull-up. His outside shot is improving, but he has a starter's body and defends and doesn't make mistakes. That's one of the things about Cliff. You know, the teams that he has, they don't make mistakes. And Dwayne Bacon is one of those players who, you know, fits kind of very well into what Cliff does as far as not making mistakes on either end of the floor and playing to his strengths on the offensive floor, which is on the offensive end, which is either playing downhill, getting to the basket, or shooting his pull-up. And you know, it's a good fit for both, because I know Cliff needed someone who can put the ball on the floor and score, but Dwayne probably needed Cliff just as much.
And last question. Oh,
Thank
sorry.
you.
And last question, Mark Berman.
Stephen, I'm sorry to have to do this, but I got knocked off several times. My internet failed.
Oh, that's all right.
Would you mind updating me on Danuel and Christian and Ben?
Oh, yeah. So Ben is available. Danuel is not. Danuel is still dealing with the back, and Christian Wood is going to start.
Do you have a kind of an update on when you might get Danuel back?
I don't. I mean, it's one of those, I think we've all gone through it where we had those back issues where, you think you're okay and then you turn one way and it just doesn't feel right. So unfortunately, he's getting better. Well, fortunately, he's getting better, but it's just the back. And I think probably everybody on this call knows how it is when you have a back issue, unfortunately, as up in age as we are compared to these guys.
Well, thank you for being patient with me.
No problem.
Thank you, Coach.